Hello sellers, I'm Robbie from the Shopee University Philippines and I'll be your intermediate course trainer. Join us!
Hello sellers! Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat and thank you for watching this video. Our lesson for today is overview of the seller penalty point system. Okay, so may mga sellers po or karamihan sa mga sellers natin na hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin familiar sa process ng ating penalty point system. Most of you are asking paano kayo nagkaka-incur ng points at ano-ano yung mga bagay na dapat ninyong gawin para ma-ensure na hindi tayo mag-i-incur ng penalty points. Those are the things that we are going to discuss and I'll share them with you today. So makikita nyo po sa presentation na nasa screen na pwede nyo din pong ma-download sa ating Seller Education Hub. Okay, so let's start with the penalty point system. How does it work? So tulad po na nakikita ninyo sa screen, it says here that we update your performance every Monday. So meron po tayong tinatawag na account health, which I will also show later. Iga-guide ko po kayo sa Seller Center o kaya sa app para makita at malaman ninyo kung paano masisilip ang performance through the account health. Okay, so every Monday we update the sellers on how well they have performed in the previous week. So ibig sabihin po, yung performance ng orders ninyo o pag-fulfill ninyo ng order, kasama po dyan ang cancellation and lahat ng refund or returned orders sa inyo from last week, makikita nyo po yan sa performance ninyo every Monday. Okay, so calculation is based on 7 days. So first, let's talk about NFR. NFR is also known as the non-fulfillment rating. So, makatulad po na nakikita ninyo sa presentation or sa screen, nakalagay po that if your NFR is less than or equal 15% and you have less than 50 orders not fulfilled, then mag-i-incur po kayo ng 1 penalty point. However, if your NFR rating from last week's performance is beyond or equal to 15%, and then you also accumulated more than or equal to 50 orders that were not fulfilled, instead of 1 point, 2 points po ang penalty point na mai-incur ni seller. Ano po ba yung tinatawag natin na orders not fulfilled? Very simple lang yan, dear sellers. If it wasn't fulfilled, ibig sabihin po the order was canceled. Ano po yung mga dahilan kung bakit naka-cancel ang order? It's either you realize that you don't have it in stock. So ang opportunity po natin if that happens is that we did not update our quantity. So we've forgotten na ang warehouse po pala natin is wala ng laman, but in our seller center nakalagay na meron pa rin po tayong physical stocks. So that should not happen because ang mangyayari po ay makakancel ang order at hindi nyo siya mafulfill. Another reason are, dear sellers, if you fail to ship the orders on time. Hindi po dapat natin kakalimutan na meron lamang po tayong 2 days to ship or 2 araw from the time na ma-confirm ang order to prepare and ship the order out. So ibig sabihin po, dapat within 2 days makapag-book or makapag-arrange tayo ng pick-up para ma-pick up siya ng courier partners natin within the 2 days time period. Okay, kapag nasusunod po natin ang 2 days to ship at na-ensure natin na wala tayong orders na canceled dahil wala tayong stocks or hindi natin na-ship out on time, makakaasa po tayo na magiging maganda ang ating NFR rating at palagi po yang below 15%. Kapag below 15%, wala po tayong penalty point na may incur. Okay, now let's move on, our dear sellers, to our next criteria and it's called the LSR. LSR po, ibig sabihin, Late Shipment Rating. So, hindi po maganda na late ang pag-ship natin ng mga orders. Dapat po, we strictly follow yung ating 2 days to ship. So, ano pong nangyayari kapag late natin na-ship ang mga orders? So, as what you can see po sa presentation that I'm showing you right now, so if it's more than or equal to 15% and but less than 60 orders late ship, ibig sabihin po, magkakaroon tayo ng 1 penalty point. But, kapag pong more than or equal to 15% ang inyong LSR, and then more than or equal to 60 orders naman po ang na-ship out natin ng late or with outside of the 2 days to ship, 2 points po ang penalty na may incur natin. At hindi po yun magiging maganda sa performance ng ating store. So makikita nyo po on the left side, I think it's a clear definition po ng ating LSR and NFR rating. So Q1, seller policy concern. So again, a non-fulfillment rate is the percentage of total orders that were either canceled or returned in the past 7 days. And then courier delayed, no pickup, logistics fault, NFR and LSR are not included in the calculations. So I just want to make it clear, however, our sellers, if it's not your fault as to why the orders were not shipped out on time, wag po kayong mag-alala. Kasi hindi po naman natin yun iti-take against your performance. So ibig sabihin po, merong opportunity ang ating logistic or courier partner kung bakit hindi yun na-pick up on time. Ang kailangan nyo lang po i-ensure is that makakapag-arrange tayo ng order within the 2 days to ship. Okay, so next po natin, I'll be sharing with you, our sellers, some troubleshooting kasi ito po yung mga scenarios or issues that we normally encounter, but most of us sometimes get confused kung paano natin i-deal yung ganitong klase ng mga scenario. Very simple lang yan, our dear sellers. You may take note of this or pwede nyo rin naman pong i-capture itong ating tutorial video. So what happens or what do we do if our parcel gets lost? So for some reasons, nagtataka tayo na ship out natin siya on time, but the customer claims na hindi pa rin yan nare-receive yung parcel. We also try to track yung status ng delivery and then hindi na natin siya na-update or wala na tayong makuhang update. So what happens is that Shopee will tag your parcel or the item as lost. So you have to wait or give us at least 24 to 48 hours to settle the order. And then what you can do after that is check your income statement to view po yung refund na ibibigay sa inyo ni Shopee or yung payment na ibibigay namin sa inyo because na-lost na nga po yung parcel. If in case po, after 48 hours from the time that the order is tagged lost, hindi pa rin po nagre-reflect yung payment, then that's the time that you may call our customer service support to follow up on its status. Okay? So wag po kayong mag-alala mga sellers. Ma-lost man po yung order, of course, you are protected here in Shopee. We are going to make sure po na mababayaran kayo for that order. However, we have to apologize, of course, and extend our apologies to the customers kasi po malulungkot sila kasi hindi nila natanggap yung parcel nila. Just explain to them na hindi naman po ninyo yung responsibility, hindi naman po ninyo yung kasalanan because you were able to prepare and ship the order on time. Okay, what happens and what do we do if we are having difficulty booking for an order or if the app is not uploading? These are basic troubleshooting our sellers. You have to close or reopen the app. If you can't, if it's still not working, you may restart your phone and check your internet connection, of course, because that's important. Baka mamaya the system lags because wala na pala tayong or we're not connected to the internet anymore. And then you may log out and log back in. Try using a different device. And I think the worst case scenario, if you will have to uninstall and install the app. Okay, and I'm sure po if you have to do that, if you'll have to do that, pag in-install nyo po yung app, it should be working fine already. Okay, but if it will still not work, our dear sellers, kapag may problema pa rin po, don't hesitate. Just reach out to your respective relationship managers, or if you don't have one yet, please just coordinate with our customer service support to report the issue po na hindi naglo-load at hindi kayo makapag-book ng pick-up. Okay, next is if walang pick-up. Okay, alam ko po, meron sa inyo at one point, at a certain time, naka-experience na hindi dumating sa rider at hindi na-pick up ang mga orders. Nakakalungkot po talaga yung mga ganyang scenarios. But of course, hindi po dapat yan maging dahilan para mag-stop kayo or mawala ang inyong drive sa pagko-continue at pagpo-flourish ng inyong mga online stores. So what happens if wala pong pickup? Number one question that you should ask yourself, have I already arranged pickup? Dalawa lang po ang sagot yan. It's either yes, you already did, or no, you haven't. So if yes, you did, can I arrange pickup or reschedule through the app or the seller center? Magkakaroon lang po tayo ng chance to reschedule the pickup if we still have days to ship left. Kaya nga po, it's important na day 1 pa lang, mas makapag-book na tayo ng pickup para yung pickup natin can happen day 2. Just imagine, our dear sellers, if you fail to book the orders on day 1, magkakaroon kayo ng chance to book it ng day 2, and then the courier is expected to arrive day 3 na. So that can be considered late already because it's already outside of the 2 days to ship. So wag po natin gagawin yan. Okay, so if you cannot arrange for pickup anymore because wala na po tayong days to ship, you must report to our customer service para po makapag-request ng reschedule for pickup si Shopee on your behalf. Pero kapag hindi pa po natin na-arrange yung pickup pala, kasi nakalimutan natin, marami po masyadong order volume, wala namang pong problema. Just arrange for pickup and then wait for pickup to happen. Okay, next, complaint to courier. There are times po na medyo frustrated or we get frustrated because sometimes we feel na being unprofessional si rider or si courier towards, every time they deal with us. Kapag mag-pick up sila, hindi pleasant yung approach. Sometimes, sa sobrang init siguro ng weather outside, nagiging hindi maganda yung attitude or behavior ni rider. Of course, we cannot tolerate that. Okay, so you may report it to us, you may report it to our customer service support or to your relationship manager para po makausap natin ng maayos si rider kasi po kailangan natin i-explain sa kanya na hindi po tamang magpakita ng hindi magandang pag-uugali or behavior sa inyong mga sellers. So how do we deal with that? So you need to of course simply write us a complaint. The seller is complaining the rider and then you must provide or supply us with evidence as well. So kung meron po kayong hindi magandang experience with the rider through text message, for example po, gumamit po siya ng mga profane language or gumamit po siya ng profanity, pwede nyo po yung i-report sa amin. Just make sure po that you'll be able to provide us with the screenshot. Kung action naman po or physical, yung hindi naging magandang behavior or attitude ni seller towards sa inyo, pwede nyo po yung i-capture via video or kung nakuha naman po ng CCTV, you may also use that as your evidence and send it and share it to us. And then, you may send it again to the customer service support or to the relationship manager if you have one. So, nature of complaint, ano po yung naging problema or experience ninyo with the rider. The evidence is very important. The order number related, so if there are multiple order numbers, you can share at least just one po. And then, the tracking number of the order that is related to that incident. Okay, next is if the system canceled the order. So it's not your fault, you're surprised because you were able to ship it on time. But for some reason, when you try to check its status on the seller center, you saw that the system or the order is canceled. So ano po yung gagawin natin doon? If the system canceled the order after pick up, nangyari na po yung pick up, the order is no longer in your possession, the delivery will push through. Dalawa po yung mangyayari. It can be rejected by the customer because ang alam niya or ang akala niya na cancel na yung order, or the buyer can still accept the order. So kapag ni-reject po ni customer yung buyer because the customer was already thinking that it's canceled already, it will just be tagged as RTS. So RTS means return to sender or return to seller. Ibabalik po ng courier yung parcel sa inyo. Pero kapag inaccept po ni customer yung order, what will happen is we're going to process a manual payment or manual settlement. It's not going to be deposited to your Shopee Pay or to your seller balance anymore, but you are going to be contacted or someone from our payments team will reach out to you kung paano po namin mapaprocess yung payment for that order. Kasi nga po, system is showing canceled but ang totoo is natanggap siya ng inyong mga customer. Okay, so dear sellers, if it's not settled, you may send the following. Ito po mga sasabihin ko sa inyo, mga dapat ninyong i-ensure na ipoprovide po ninyo sa customer service or to your incubation manager para matulungan po kayong ma-resolve yung ganitong klase ng incident. So ano po yung mga kailangan natin i-secure na documents? So first is the picture of the array bill. Second is screenshot of your conversation po with the customer. We simply need to see that the customer is confirming po na he or she received the parcel from you. And then po, the order number and the tracking number. Those are very important details. And then, kapag meron na po kayo ng lahat ng mga yan, isend nyo na po sa inyong incubation manager and or to the customer service support para po ma-fix na po natin yung payment at ma-process siya as soon as possible. Okay, so next po is the listing violation penalty points. So every time po na meron tayong nakukommit na or na-violate ng guidelines dito po sa policies ni Shopee, nagkakaroon po tayo ng penalty points. So hindi po dapat natin yon ginagawa. So dapat po maging aware tayo sa lahat ng policies and guidelines na dapat natin palaging sinusunod para hindi po tayo magkaroon ng penalty points. So uulitin ko po, we have listing violation penalty points. Tatlo po yan are dear sellers. Prohibited listings or advertisement. Next is IP infringement and counterfeit. Last is the listing spam. Ano po yung mga bagay na yan? So sellers with severe listing violations will earn 2 penalty points. Ibig sabihin po, kapag continuously or meron kayong mga penalty points just because you have continuously violated our listing guidelines, magkakaroon po kayo ng tinatawag natin na severe listing violations and automatically bibigyan po namin or paparusahan po namin kayo with 2 penalty points. Next po is if the seller who re-uploaded listings that were previously banned due to spam and without editing will have their listings deleted and earn 1 penalty point. So if you can imagine that, if you choose to ignore yung aming notification na sinuspend or binan po namin yung product ninyo because meron kaming nakitang violations, and you decide to re-upload it without correcting or fixing the error, automatic po we will delete it. So if we delete it, you will not be able to re-upload the item. Just imagine the number of followers na meron and the popularity po na nag-gain ng product ninyo. Mawawala po yung lahat because i-delete po siya ni Shopee. Not just that, you'll also incur 1 penalty point. So nakakalungkot po yan, kaya siguraduhin po natin na hindi natin magagawa. Okay, sellers who re-upload previously deleted listings will earn 1 additional penalty point, and sellers who upload listings in prohibited categories will have their listings deleted and earn 1 additional point. So tulad nga po ng sinabi ko sa mga nakaraang videos, it's very important that you choose the correct or the right category for your product. Huwag po tayong pipili ng kung ano-ano ang category lang. We must research and we must utilize po yung ating list of category sa Seller Center para po ma-ensure that we are going to use the right category for our product. Okay, so ito po yung sample ng mga listing violations natin. We have prohibited and restricted items. On the left side of the presentation po, you will see there FDA advised or advisory. Then there's Shopee policy restricted items. And so let's run through this very quickly lang po mga sellers, no? So we have unregistered cosmetics. Ayan po yung mga samples. There's glutacogic acid, and then there's a lime crime of velveteens, lipsticks. Those are not allowed po to be listed and are considered prohibited. For counterfeit products, Maybelline New York, waterproof mascara that are of course not original, hindi po yan pwedeng i-upload unfortunately, and adulterated cosmetics are also not or are also considered prohibited po to be uploaded po on the Shopee platform. Okay, for Shopee policy, there are pre-loved and used products that you cannot upload, unfortunately, our sellers. Multiple items in one listings, that's not allowed. Breast pumps, baby accessories such as yung nakikita nyo po sa list, and then yung mga used or pre-loved cosmetics are also not allowed. And then we have selected food items, of course, yung mga expired na products. Make sure that if you're going to upload a food or something na edible, dapat po hindi po siya expired and it's properly labeled. Dapat po hindi po siya mag-expire within the next 3 months. Okay, notified by, I'm sorry, before po makalimutan ko, there's over-the-counter medicine drugs that's also not allowed or prohibited po to be uploaded or posted. Huwag po natin yan i-upload sa Shopee store natin. Kasi po, prohibited po yan, i-delete lang po yan ni Shopee. And then, of course, listing limit, meron po tayong tinatawag na listing limit. So sellers or kung kayo po ay nakapag-accumulate ng penalty points from listing violations within a quarter, sa loob ng 3 buwan, nagkaroon tayo ng penalty points because of the violations na in-explain ko po sa inyo kanina, mapipilitan po si Shopee to limit yung allowed na listing for your store. Ano po ba yung nangyayari? So if, for example, you have accumulated or earned 3 to 5 penalty points just because of listings, we are not even talking about fulfillment po we are just talking about listing violations. So if you incurred 3 to 5 penalty points for violating our listings, then we are going to limit po your listings to 200. So what happens if you have 1,000 listings, for example? If there are 1,000 products uploaded on your store right now, i-remove po namin yung 800. Those will not be visible to your customers. Ang iiwan lang po namin is yung remaining 200, and that will definitely affect po your sales and your shop performance. Next is if you have more than 6 points. If you go beyond the 6 penalty points, imagine ililimit po namin ang listing ninyo down to 50. So if you have 1,000 products uploaded right now, 950 of them will not be visible to your customers, but instead only 50 will remain, and yun lang po ang pwedeng orderin ng mga customers ninyo. And again, if you can imagine how greatly it will affect your business on a negative side po. So, ingatan po natin and ensure po na we are familiar with the listing violations and the listing guidelines para ma-ensure na hindi tayo magkakaroon ng penalty points. Okay, yun lang nga po yung examples na binigay ko sa inyo. Seller accumulated 3 penalty points for listing violations. So, we will reduce the listing limit to 200. So, all the other 800 of his oldest listing with the lowest sold count will be delisted by the system. Ito naman po mga sellers, ang i-guarantee ko sa inyo, yung 800 of your oldest listing with the example I'm giving you and the lowest sold count, yun po yung ating i-delist. Yun po yung hindi magiging visible sa inyong mga customer. But we are going to retain, of course, yung mga items na fast moving at mabenta po sa store ninyo. Okay, next po is of course the customer service. We're done with the fulfillment. So ulitin ko po just a recap para hindi tayo ma-confuse. You earn penalty point if you violate po our fulfillment policy, if pag late tayo mag-ship ng order, and if we don't ship the orders out, NFR and LSR po yan, you will earn penalty points. If you violate our listing guidelines, tulad nga po ng mga listing violation metrics that I shared with you, ulitin ko po, magkakaroon tayo ng penalty points. And now, we are moving on to our next topic, and that is the customer service. If you violate some of our customer service rules, meron din pong chance na magkaroon tayo ng penalty points. So, dapat po familiar and aware tayo sa mga bagay na ito. So, number one is if you replied rude to a product review, meron po talaga mga times na hindi natin maintindihan kung bakit rude, sarcastic, or condescending yung mga comments or feedback na iniiwan ng mga customers natin. But you have to be patient, understand the situation, and as much as possible, explain your side of the story para malaman naman po ng mga future and potential buyers ninyo na hindi talaga ninyo kasalanan kung bakit ganun ang condition ng product nung natanggap siya ng inyong customer. So 2 points po yan if you happen to reply rude to a certain product review. Another 2 points po if you are rude also or abusive through the chats. You have to extend your patience, our dear sellers. That's the key to being a successful seller in Shopee. Dapat po patient and dapat po understanding tayo kahit very basic po yung mga questions na tinatanong sa inyo ng inyong mga customer. Dapat po enthusiastic tayo and then friendly tayo every time we reach out to them or every time we reply to their inquiries. And of course, lastly is if you ask the buyer to cancel the order, that is such a big crime po here in Shopee. If you tell your customer that you don't have it in stock, so might as well just cancel the order. Please, don't ever suggest or ask your customer to cancel an order. That is not their responsibility. Don't give them the impression that they can cancel the order although it's really your fault kung bakit hindi po ninyo masiship out yung parcel. Kasi wala na nga po kayong stocks. Kaya nga po, lagi namin kayong remind to make sure that you upload or that you update the quantity of each of your SKU para ma-ensure natin na hindi tayo magkakaroon ng non-fulfillment problems. Okay. So, what are the associated penalties? So, makikita pa ninyo yung table also on the screen. Ito po yung nangyayari o yung relevant punishments na pwede namin ibigay or i-impose sa store ninyo kapag po continuously nag-earn tayo ng penalty points. So, naka-tier po yan. So, we have tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, if you are under tier 1, ibig sabihin po, meron na tayong 3 penalty points. Anong nangyayari if we have 3 penalty points already? We cannot join any of our marketing campaigns. So, whether it's big or a small campaign, hindi po kayo pwedeng mag-participate if you have incurred 3 penalty points already. And that's a very sad thing to know. Now, if you have or if you became part of the second tier, that's tier 2, ibig sabihin po, you've already incurred 6 penalty points. So, these are the punishments po. So, you will be banned from joining the marketing campaign. We'll remove your free shipping and shipping rebates. And then, we are going to moderately deboost your listings. So, ibig sabihin po, each time na itatry ninyo to boost your product para mag-appear po siya on top of the search, i-moderate po namin na i-deboost namin siya. And then, of course, kapag 9 points, 12 points until you reach the 15 points, so the max po is 15 points, no? So what will happen? That's already like the worst case scenario. So 15 points, you'll be banned from joining the marketing campaign. We'll remove the free shipping or the shipping rebates as well. And then we will deboost your listings po. Pero this time severe. Ibig sabihin, hindi po kayo makakapag-boost ng listings ninyo. And then we will block your listing creation and edit. You will not be able to improve, edit, or revise any of your listings at the moment. And then we are going to freeze your account as well. So if your account is on a freeze status, ibig sabihin po, you cannot make any transaction. And that is of course a sad thing for a seller. So mangyayari po dito, lahat ng punishment, lahat po yan mangyayari and magiging effective or magiging active for 28 days. After 28 days, dun lang po mawawala or ma-regain lahat ng mga privilege na temporarily nawala or naging unavailable sa inyo. Ulitin ko po, only 28 days ang kailangan hintayin para ma-regain natin itong mga privileges na to. However, please do not be confused as your penalty points stays with you until the next quarter. Hindi po nawawala ang penalty points. Although you have already regained all the privileges that you lost, ang inyong pong penalty points may iwan po yan sa account niyo until the next quarter. So, ibig sabihin po, every first Monday of each quarter lang po namin zero out ang penalty points. So wag po kayong mag-expect na kapag na-regain na ninyo yung privilege is wala na rin po dapat ang penalty points ninyo. Hindi po tama yon mga sellers. Ang penalty points po stays with you until the next quarter. Although ang mga lost na privileges, mariregain nyo na po siya. Ibig sabihin, you'll have the chance to join the campaigns again, and then you'll have the chance to boost your listings again. Okay, so checking your penalty points details. Of course, hindi naman po tayo papayag na sasabihin na lang ni Shopee na meron tayong penalty point or meron tayong ginawang violations. We have to be able to understand kung ano po yung root cause o pinagmulan ng mga violations natin para ma-ensure na may improve po natin at hindi na natin siya magagawa ulit. So number 1, check the penalty points and identify gaps for improvements. Check the accumulated penalty points and of course, see which operational areas needs improvement. Kung non-fulfillment po yung naging dahilan kung bakit tayo nagkaroon ng penalty point, dapat i-review natin yung current process natin sa pag-fulfill ng order. And obviously, meron po tayong dapat i-improve. And then, how do I track my ongoing penalty? Now, I would like to take this chance to introduce to all of you what we call the account health. So, ano nga po ba ang tinatawag natin ni account health? Account Health page provides an overview of your overall performance by tracking your current and your past performances. So napakadali pong aralin na tingnan ng ating account health at your sellers. So you'll see here, may kita nyo po when you open po yung account health through the seller center, you will see right away yung performance ninyo from last week. May kita ninyo if you did well, may kita po ninyo kung kailangan po ng opportunity. At may makikita po ninyo yung parameter na kailangan po nating i-improve. So kung nakikita nyo po on the screen, you'll see here, wag nyo pong gagayahin to mga dear sellers kasi sa sample na pinapakita ko sa inyo ngayon, meron pong 9 penalty points. Hindi po maganda yan. So para lang po mas maintindihan natin, you'll see po on non-fulfillment rate, ang sample natin is meron siyang 4 points. Ibig sabihin, merong opportunity si seller at may mga orders na either na-cancel or hindi niya na-ship on time. And then, of course, the ongoing punishment, you will see here, like what I have explained po kanina when I showed you the table of the punishments. Yung deboost listing po, severe, meron siyang 26 days left. And then, of course, no shipping subsidies. Ibig sabihin, we are not going to offer rebates po for the shipping cost of the buyer. And meron pong 28 days remaining. And last is unable to join the marketing campaigns. Meron pong 26 days remaining. So, ulitin ko po, our dear sellers, you only get to keep the penalty point or the number of points that you have incurred, but you will definitely regain the privileges after 28 days. So just by looking at the account health, you will see already kung ilang days na lang yung remaining bago ninyo ma-regain yung nawala po ninyong privilege. Okay. So, qualifying for seller preferred program, a lot of you I know have been asking your NQ managers, how do I get that preferred badge? I know ang lahat sa inyo or karamihan sa inyo maingat na maingat sa performance at binabantayan talaga ang performance kasi gustong ma-reward ng seller or Shopee seller preferred badge. So, madali lang po yan. To become a preferred seller, you'll have to fit the criteria of number 1, building up a strong sales record. Meron po kayong sales target and that will be explained to you by your NQ manager. You actually have to be open about how you want to achieve your goals in terms of the sales targets po na ibibigay sa inyo ng inyong mga NQ manager. Next is offering excellent customer service. You have to again be patient. Every time po you get an inquiry, regardless of how basic the question is or how basic the questions are, dapat po very polite, friendly, and warm po yung responses natin sa ating mga customer because that would help po build yung trust ng mga customers ninyo and may entice and attract nyo po sila para mag-visit ng stores ninyo ulit and bumili ulit ng product ninyo. Next is fulfilling all orders quickly and reliably. So, ibig sabihin po, we must not forget we only have 2 days to prepare and ship the orders out. For as long as we're able to ship the orders out po within 2 days, hindi po tayo magkakaroon ng problema with the fulfillment of orders. Next po is complying with the Shopee seller policies and maintaining a clean penalty record. Wala po tayong late ship orders, wala tayong canceled orders, we don't violate customer service policies, and at the same time, hindi po tayo nagva-violate ng listings. We can be assured na magiging malinis at maganda ang performance natin at lagi nating makikita through the account health that our performance is excellent. And last, of course, achieve high shop and product performance or high shop and product rating. So on the table, you will see here the target and the areas of performance that you need to keep an eye on. So net orders po for the last 30 days, that should be more than 50. So dapat yung orders na na-collect ninyo or pumasok sa store ninyo from last week or for the last 30 days will not be less than 50 orders. So next is unique buyers. So dapat po meron tayong at least more than 30 unique buyers. So hindi po dito pwede yung mga suki or yung palaging bumibili from our store. Dapat po every month meron tayong mga new customers na magigin or ma-acquire para po mag-qualify po tayo dito sa preferred program. And then we have the shop rating that should be more than 4.5 points. Hindi po dapat bababa ng 4.5 para ma-consider na meron tayong good shop performance. And then non-fulfillment, that's again less than 14.99%. If you go beyond 15% or equal to 15%, that is when you start incurring 1 penalty point. And then we have late shipment as well. That's also less than 14.99%. Chat response rating po dapat hindi bababa ng 75%. So how do we maintain our good chat response rating? We have to make sure that we're able to reply to all chat inquiries that we receive po within the 12-hour period. Okay, 12-hour po ang dapat ninyong palaging tatandaan every time na nakakakuha tayo ng mga chat inquiries. The faster, the better. If you can reply to the chat as early as now, if you can reply to the chat quickly as possible, then please do it para ma-ensure natin na magiging maganda ang ating chat response rating. And then number of days during which a percentage of active pre-order listing exceeds, dapat po wala po tayong exceed ng pre-order. We set it at 10%. If we have 100 listings uploaded currently, dapat po ang pre-order natin hindi more than 10 of our SKUs. Dapat hanggang 10 lang po yan para hindi natin ma-violate yung ating pre-order limit. And then the current number of seller penalty points, dapat po we keep it at 0. Although ang 1 or 2 points is still considered good performance, pero of course po it would be best kapag 0 ang ating penalty point. And lastly, ongoing penalty and past ongoing account suspension, dapat po you have not experienced that. Okay? If you have met all the performance metrics po and the performance measures, then pwede na po namin kayong i-invite. You just have to wait for it. Uulitin ko po, our dear sellers, preferred program or seller preferred program is not done via application. It's actually done via invitation. So for as long as you're already consistent with your good performance, you just have to wait for us po to invite you, and that's going to be done through a notification. Okay, one time or one day, masusurprise na lang po kayo when you check your notifications. Makikita na ninyo ang invitation namin para maging preferred seller na po namin kayo. Okay, and that's it. That's actually the coverage of our lessons for today about the seller penalty point system. I hope, sellers, that you learned a lot, and please stay tuned. We are going to release more videos po. If you want to go through all the articles that I've shared with you, i-upload po namin yan, i-store po namin yan sa Seller Education Hub. So please make sure that you'll visit the Seller Education Hub and the Seller Center. Maraming salamat po, and see you on the next video.